what had you then take the entrepreneurial journey and then subsequently end up with field agent?
Sure. I grew up, I think we talked about this earlier, that I grew up in Appalachia.
Yes, we did.
And
But
so,
everybody else listening
and
doesn't know that.
no one else knows that with Appalachia. And so I knew I wanted to get out of the
Yeah.
area and to do something different. And through the University of Kentucky, Procter and Gamble recruited there.
Mhm.
Was able to get an opportunity to work for, I would argue, one of the best CPG companies in the
Mhm.
world. And I started out in logistics product supply, and my major, personnel and industrial relations, today would be considered people and culture, organizational
Yep.
effectiveness type of
Yep.
degree today. And P&G does a fantastic job of training and building you and turning you into a general manager of
Right.
sorts. It's about processes of managing
Mhm.
people. And so as I grew and had multiple assignments and then traveled overseas, my time in Asia really allowed me to see what it was like to take that power that I'd grown and learned in
Mhm.
Cincinnati and take that into markets that weren't necessarily always third world, but it was second. I mean,
Mhm.
there was opportunities there, and you just saw the light bulbs go off on these amazing, smart, entrepreneurial people. And I brought processes in. So at that time in my career, all roads were leading back to the U.S. The company was offering an opportunity for some packages. My wife and I both work for Procter. We raised our hands and a couple other friends. And Carol, we use, and if people are listening to this, I want you to think about this, is that we use Procter and Gamble's package as angel money. Okay.
Very.
So we each got about, a year's worth of salary.
Mhm.
And so in today's world, Carol, imagine leaving the company and then going out with your 10 cup trying to get two or $300,000 of strings.
Yep.
P&G gave us an opportunity with zero strings.
Fabulous.
And so what we did is we then took the know-how that we had of being best in class,
Mhm.
customer team, customer facing, and we came to Northwest Arkansas, which is just south of Walmart, and there were hundreds and now thousands of vendor teams here.
Right.
And we brought that Procter and Gamble expertise and we brought it into this vendor world, and we started doing that work, and that was North Star.
Wow.
My wife ran the research for us. We called it Core 4 Research because we had 4 partners, and she ran that. And then you fast forward, it's an overnight success, right? You fast forward about 9 years, and this was before there were selfies.
Mhm.
This is the pre-selfie era. Uh, we were trying to figure out how we could use the iPhone. It was the iPhone 3S at the time, so 2 megapixel camera. It was the bomb.
Right. Well, you know.
And so, how do you use that phone to capture information in stores? Because Carol, we were literally traveling all over the U.S.
Mhm.
doing research and shop alongs and engagements right there in stores,
Mm.
and no one was doing that. And yeah, I was running 5 LLCs at the time. It was crazy. And we said, if we don't create this tool that uses the smartphone with everyday people, we're going to be like the people that said they invented Instagram and they were just, I didn't have time to do it. I'm going to go to a party and say, oh, I did that. And they're like, no, you didn't. We don't want to be those guys. So, Carol, we literally worked nights and weekends
Mhm.
again for about 9 months and launched Field Agent in 2010, April, 2 months before Uber, the first app in iTunes that paid cash. And it was a tool
Be darned.
for our research and marketing company. And after about a year, we said, oh my gosh, we can scale this thing. This is what we need to do. So we got rid of the other LLCs. I acquired my wife, rolled her research
Right.
business underneath what we're doing, and have it look back.
What was it like, where was your aha moment on this technology?
And I think the everyone, but not everyone, remember the business world had Blackberries.
Mhm.
The cool kids had Razor phones or flip
Right.
phones. iPhone was coming in. And the aha moment was, would someone actually send us a photo? Would they really do could a stranger talk to a stranger?
Mm.
And would you go to a store and give me a price or take a photo? And could I pay them?
For that
And not only
photo.
did they do that,
Mhm.
they're like, I'll do anything you want. Whatever you, I mean, it was crazy because at first we thought, okay, just really simple things. Then we started getting complex. And Carol, the complexity was crazy, absolutely crazy. And people said, yes, 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 yes. And I was shocked, absolutely shocked.
That's amazing.
That was the aha. People would do it.
And do you think that they felt there was that they were how do I want to put this? I always say that the lowest common denominator among successful companies, there's a lot more to do with it, but it's really the lowest, I think, common denominator is they're solving a problem that people need to have solved. And they realize they need
Yes.
to have it solved. So do people think that this was a problem that they needed solving? Like,
Yeah. And so there are two things that are happening. I think we have two economies.
mhm.
So if you look at our ICP, you've got a client version, and we do client needed information and insights from a store. We just talked about that.
Yep.
Well, now you're over here and you've got the everyday person saying, so I went from spending a couple $100 for a phone and $10 a month to I'm going to spend hundreds of dollars for a phone and 30, 40, 50, $100 a month. And so the problem we're solving there is that people are like, wow, I can actually make a little extra cash. Now, again, '09 and 10 was on the tail end of this economic issue
Right.
with the housing market
Right.
crash.
Right.
And I could give you stories of person A that needed some extra money for some groceries. I could give you person B that just wanted to take a cruise and needed some extra cash. And I could take you to person C that says, I lost my job and literally it helped me make it to the next time I could actually get some cash in
Mm.
to help. So we were solving a problem where people, and if you Google us today, or you just Google anything that says, how do I make money with my phone? You'll get 10, 12, and we're always the top 2 or 3 that says these guys aren't a scam. You can make money. And so the average person might make $50 in a month, but we had a person last year make $15,000.
In a month?
No,
In the
not a
year?
year, in increments of $5
Right, right, right.
here,
Well,
$10 there,
listen,
free
that's
product.
a little extra income for somebody who needs it. It's better, it's better than a sharp stick in the eye.
Absolutely. So that's when we knew we were solving two
Oh, that's
problems. We had a
fantastic.
gig
I
economy, and
love
Uber
it.
figured it out too. I wonder if people would use their own cars. They would. I wonder if they would
Right.
deliver
They
groceries.
w
They will.
Yeah.
And we have the same economy over
Well, and
here.
of course, listen, they've been delivering pizzas with their own cars for, 100 years.
Yeah, I mean, think about the legal aspect
Yeah.
of this. Our attorney said, I wonder if people will use their phones or if they're going to make you pay for their phone. Or do you think you have to pay for the data? Well, I wonder if you have to buy. And I said, no, no, no. It's just like somebody with their car. It's not going to matter. And Carol, people just use their own phone. No one's complaining about it. They make extra cash and they love
It's a
it.
win-win.
It
I
is.
love it. Carol Schultz here. Thanks for watching this excerpt from Authentically Successful. The conversation doesn't end there. So if you want to hear this episode in full and all my conversations with many other successful founders and CEOs, please visit verticalelevation.com/podcast.